everybody, it's Valerie from Valerie Wallace Fine Arts, drawing classes every day at 1 o'clock. And today we're going to do the magical Elsa, alright, by request from Will Berry. And before I forget, happy birthday, Sue, if you're out there watching, maybe not there yet, but, yeah, so, I guess that's it. I'm a little confused today, but I've been practicing, so I think I've got to figure it out, alright? Everybody ready? Mm-hmm. What makes Elsa look like Elsa?
Braid.
A braid.
Big
One
eyes.
braid over the shoulder. What else?
Big eyes.
Big eyes.
Magic.
Yeah.
Blue dress.
Blue dress. Yeah.
Blonde. I already said that.
Okay, all right. We got it. So when you're doing this, and she's pretty. And when you're doing this, what we're looking for is to show a pretty girl in a long dress. She's going to have these snowflakes. She's going to have that ponytail over the shoulder. And that's going to make her look like that. No matter where you're at. If you're 4, and you can still draw it, okay? If you're, 44, 94, whatever, you can still do it. Just let's not try to be Disney illustrators and have it be perfectly like this. What we want to do is make a nice Elsa and have fun doing it, okay? I'm going to do a pencil drawing here, and I'm going to do a pastel drawing here, partly just to make it bigger so you can see it. And so what we want to do is Elsa, we're going to get her face up here. We do want to have her little poof of hair, so don't get too high. But she's a lot, if I measure her head, 1, 2, 3, 4, and at least 4.5. So I mean, she's going to stretch from here to here. So don't. So get the head up here. She's very wide and short with her face. Okay, so if you do a long skinny oval, it's not going to look as much like it as if you went an oval this way. Okay.
Eden is so excited.
Oh, hey Eden! I'm glad you're watching. Okay, so I'm going to use my rusty brown here, my sienna, to sketch it out. So if you do have like a light white person skin color, use that. Use that to start with, something light, a light blue or whatever, but for the face, brownish, reddish, pinkish, something like that would be good to start. Okay, we're going to start here. What I want you to do is I want you to make me a line like this and a line like this. Okay? That's the width of her face right around here. So on this one, I'm going to do it a little bit closer together or else I won't fit it on there. All right? And then what happens is she has kind of a little pointy chin. So if you can find a spot just below those lines, kind of maybe make a dot. I know you probably can't see it, but I don't want a big dot or she'll look like she has a beard for the rest of the picture. So don't do that, okay? Just a touch. Some of you will, and you will wish you hadn't. Okay, so you're going to come into this and then up like that. All right? So that's the same thing here. I think we'll save kind of doing the details on her face for just a little bit, just so you can kind of get warmed up before you add. I know you're anxious to put those parts on, but let's hold on for a second. She has her hair goes like this, which a lot of times seems hard to draw, but it really isn't. Go up above her face a little bit and make a line that goes like this. And then what you're going to do is tilt down on both sides like that. So it's kind of 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 heptagram.
I don't know about that.
You don't know?
I don't know about a heptagram. Not sure if I've ever heard of that.
Heptagram, like a 7-sided figure.
Hexagon. Oh, that's 5.
Hexagon is 6.
Heptagram doesn't sound right to me.
Somebody figure it out. Okay. All right. Before I forget, I'm going to put one ear here. Okay? The next thing I'm going to do is I'm going to give her one line for her neck. So it's going to be pretty close to where her chin is. If you put it way out on the side of her face, it's going to look like a football player. Okay? So you bring a line down like this. All right. Now either keep using this brown one or I'm going to use a gold. And I'm going to, because if I draw her hair with a light yellow, you're never going to see it. So you have to think a little bit about having things show up, okay? So what happens with this, find a spot up on the top of her head like this. Okay? And then her hair, some of her hair is going to be sweeping up.
H plus.
Okay? And then it's also going to come around the side of her face like that. Alright? And then we want that braid to come down over her shoulder. So you're going to keep this line coming, and it's going to come right down around like this. Sort of like it's wrapped by a snake or a candy cane or something. Okay, so she has this braid, and what it is kind of crisscrossy. So what you can do is make a line that goes this way, and a line that goes this way, and one goes this way, and one that goes this way. And that looks kind of like a braid. And then she has a little pointy piece on the end. And you can make that as long as you want to. If you make it really, really long, what's it going to look like?
Rapunzel.
Rapunzel. Okay, that's the giveaway of Rapunzel, because I don't know besides that. Aurora has the pink dress, but I mean, I'm not sure what says Rapunzel besides the really, really long
She
hair.
has a pink dress.
She has a pinky purple dress, doesn't she?
Mm-hmm.
All right.
And a lizard. That's entangled.
Okay. Now, what I want to do is... Oops, I gotta do the hair down here. All right, so if you didn't see it, I'm going to make a rainbow up top. I'm going to come from the side of her face and connect that rainbow. I'm going to bring that rainbow right down around the side and down low like this, because she has thick hair. Okay? She also has a little line for her neck. All right, we'll hold off on the face, like I said, if you can do it. Hold off for just a little bit. What I'm going to have you do now is pick the color you want to use for the dress. And see if you can find, you know, I've got a pretty good, where is it? There it is. I've got a pretty good aqua blue here. What are they calling it here? Oh yeah, turquoise. Turquoise. Okay. All right, this is where we're going to start. Forget about everything. Okay, we're just going to do this part right here. All right? From her shoulder. Well, actually, first thing we're going to do are a little bit right with her shoulders, okay? So what happens is, we'll kind of make her dress go like this. So you're going to come out just a little bit by her shoulder, and then I want you to come down and like into her ponytail. Okay, that's going to be her chest. Okay, she turned a little bit. I tried to find one that was just straight on, but it didn't work. But this is a good one, because this, from right here at her chest, is almost a perfect straight line right down like that, which is going to be easy. And then you have her skirt flow out to the back, which is nice. Okay? So here, I'm going to go out just a little bit, not much, and then down and over. All right? Okay, take what right here and bring this out just a teensy-weensy bit like this. Just a little bit for her bosom. Okay? Then you're going to go bring that bosom in just a teeny bit. If you don't want to, you don't have to. Now we're dropping to the floor with the dress. Okay, so you're going to come all the way down like that. Alright? So out a little bit, in a little bit, and then down she goes. Down like that. Alright? Okay. Now she has this little cutout here where her waist is, but we're going to do the arm first, all right? So what happens, I think she has an off-the-shoulder kind of dress. So on the other side of her ponytail, you make just a little continuation of that line. Not very much, just a little bit. If you draw it out to here, she's going to have like one hulking shoulder, okay? All right, so we're going to go a little bit like this, and then she's got a little bit of curve to her arm, but you don't need to do that. So take this line and bring this down, but notice that her hand comes way down. From her shoulder to the feet, it's about halfway. So if you look at where her floor is and here, you're finding this about halfway. So this is probably pretty good. And I'm going to make her have another side to the arm, and it's going to look like this. Does that look right?
Yep.
Okay. Good? Good, good, good. I know it's probably a little fast for some people, it's probably a little slow for some people, but I'm doing what I can. Okay? Try not to get too bogged down, but I want to... Huh?
You're doing great, sweetie.
Thank you. Wasn't that nice? That makes me feel good. Okay. So we're going in and out here. This is where her waist is. So like maybe you want to say, okay, well that's about here. Okay, so I'm going to go from her armpit. I'm going to go towards that line. Okay, spot, and then I'm going to bring it right, and I'm just going to skim right along where her sleeve goes and bring that out like that. And on the bottom, if you do a little piece and you go up, and then you do a little piece and go up, and a little piece and go up, it'll start to look a little bit like has the folds of her very full gown. Okay? We all know who it is already. Let me get this one because it's not in color, but alright, what did I miss down here? Alright, so I continued the neckline of her dress out a little bit here. You know, her shoulder is beyond her head a little bit, okay? So if you're just right under her ear, then it's a little tricky. I probably want to do this too. Okay. And then I'm going to bring this over like that. And here. And then I'm going to go in a little bit, and then out a little bit, and she's going to have her dress like that. Okay? Yeah, we're going to do the cape too. Let's do the other sleeve of the cape, and we'll add the hand. I don't think you'll have any trouble adding. We'll do that later. Okay, so she has a little bit of shoulder. So come here. There's not much of her upper arm that shows, so don't make this line very long. Just a little bit. 2 little bits of lines here. This one, the lower one, has to be a little bit longer. And then you're going to go up like that. Okay? Because by the time I put this together, swing that down here, and then I add this on, that's going to be should be even with the other arm. Okay? When you bend an arm, especially if you bend it this much, these pieces up here way shorter than it does when you're like this. This is a very long looking arm. Okay? So I want it to come from here a little bit, and then I'm going to go up a little bit. Okay? Alright, now she has these, she has a little flourish to her fingers. Yeah, let's sketch in where the cape's going to go while we're at it. So I think it comes right off of her sleeve. This isn't a sleeve, what do you call it? Off the shoulder. Okay, so right here, bring out a line right out to that corner. Go all the way out there. Maybe there's a piece like this. Okay? This would look like if we color it all exactly the same, then it's going to look like the whole thing's her dress. So what you just want to do is a little bit different so that it...
Barbara's watching.
Barbara?
And Teresa.
Barbara.
And Teresa?
I don't see Teresa.
Right under it.
Thomas Mallory.
Thomas Mallory, not Teresa Murphy.
Thomas Mallory.
David Miller. Rachel Dobbs.
Hey Tom, are you watching with this with your mom? Or somebody? Or just you?
No response.
Maybe he just
He
wants
used to tell us about his mom sometimes. I just thought that would be a nice thing to do. He's a kickboxing teacher.
Oh.
You remember?
Sure, yeah.
The one that looks like Mark Ruffalo?
Right.
Alright. Grab your... Because he's a great teacher.
Mm-hmm.
Grab your, whatever you did to outline the face again, okay? And this is that thing with the hands. Let's do this one first. What you're going to do is kind of bring from the lower part of her wrist, bring a little piece that comes up. Remember that your hand is as big as your face. So you don't want a little tiny hand like this that's going to look like something's wrong with her. So let that come up, and it's going to be kind of at a point, and then kind of bring it down. And then you'll have her thumb just kind of come out on the other side. See how that looks like a hand that she's going to be tossing those magical snowflakes? Right? That's a simple way of doing it. The other one, her thumb's on the inside. So go on the outside of the wrist again and bring down a nice long, kind of like a point. It's going to be a little bit like a mitten. And then on the inside you put the little thumb. I know, I miss my gym classes.
Oh.
Trying to do my exercises here, but I definitely am not working as hard as I would if I were going to the classes. Yeah, can't be done. Can't be done. Can't be expected. A little bit. If I do a little bit every day, then I will do it. But if I had to do a lot, I wouldn't do it. And then what's the point of that, right? All right. So here I've got the cape that comes down, and then a long line that goes out like this. Kind of bring that back to the wrist, and then a thumb that comes up. Here you get that kind of long piece and a thumb. All right. Oh, and while you have your brown, she needs the other part of her shoulder. Depending on what you've done with the hair, but like her neck would be here, and then her shoulder would come out and come and connect into here. Right? She's got to have some sort of connection from here into her sleeve. Okay? Oh, I remember he was going to come and paint with us at one of the classes one time, Tom was. Maybe Sue's there now. Happy birthday, Sue. Good? All right. Okay, so let's do the face now. The tricky thing is you want these big eyes. You want them to be the same. And the thing about her face is she has a teensy-weensy little nose, kind of thin lips, and not a wide smile. It's small. And her nose is very, very close to her lips. But there's more of a distance from her nose to her eyes than maybe on normal people. Okay? This is how we're gonna do. We'll do the eyes first. Okay? So that's just about in the middle of her face. Okay? From wherever the top of her skull would be there. And what I want you to do is to make two lines like this. Okay? And they're going to be pretty close together. Well, I guess no, not too much. Two lines like that. That's not actually her eye. That's the bottom of her eye. Okay? They're pretty flat. And then you can just make a big rainbow over the top of that, or you can do it like this. You kind of bring a piece that goes a little bit more out to the side than a rainbow, kind of like that. And then you connect it down on the sides, okay? It's pretty much a rainbow. I still got one bigger than the other. I'll kind of adjust that when I put the black on for her eyelashes. So if you just make a big rainbow, that'll do great. Okay? Alright.
Looks like an alien.
Yeah, she looks very scary right now. Okay, before we do anything else, I want you to color in. If you're coloring, I want you to color the skin, whatever color you want it to be. Okay? I wish we could show Nathan.
He's over here. You could pick him up.
I don't think I can.
I could bring him through for a quick introduction.
A quick view of Nathan.
Yeah.
Veronica has a very, very beautiful. Oh, I'm busting.
Come here.
A very, very, yeah, come do it while you find a better color. Very beautiful little puppy.
He's not a puppy, he's a grandpa. Say hi, Nate.
I know, he's precious. Gorgeous, gorgeous. Okay, so I want to leave the eyes, but I'm going to color around them. And when I color, in this case, if you do happen to have pastels like this, you kind of color over that brown line and let it kind of blend in. Okay, don't worry about her mouth too much because her teeth really don't show. Okay. We'll get the neck and the chest and the hands. Everybody. Oh, and the ear. Did you get the ear? I'll remind you because everybody forgets those parts.
I had it.
Okay, there's that.
I erased it.
This movie the original one came out 8 years ago.
Oh wow.
Is that possible?
Yeah.
I guess so.
Yeah, I guess it is, because I think we saw it when you were in college. Okay. I did it here. Alright, let's do the yellow in the hair too. We want to use our light colors so they don't get all mixed in. Anybody else I need to say hello to?
Allison Koslek-Kulikowski.
Hey. That's Sophia and Anna.
Okay.
You know, you took their pictures.
I did.
And it's where Veronica loves your house.
Oh,
Veronica loves your house.
I walk by with the babies.
Yeah.
And I just love the porch.
I know. My friend Elizabeth lived in that house when I was a kid, and it was really nice then.
What's right today? Just a few hours
Just
ago.
to go play in there. What a place to play hide and seek. It's a big, beautiful. Would you say it's a colonial?
I don't know.
I think it's Elsa.
Elsa.
Break into it, girls. You gonna sing?
Let it go, let it go.
All right.
I'm one with the wind and sky.
I'm gonna use my red here because what did I do with my cloth? Because my pink is really big and I won't be able to draw this mouth very well. But I'm gonna do the mouth before I do the nose. She does have a little chin. So. Okay? And normally the corners of your mouth line up with the middle of your eyes, but in her case it's just, she's got these huge eyes way spread apart, so it's not quite the same. She does have a lot of times she has a little bit of a smirk, not so much in this one, but. So what might be easy to do is do a line, okay, like this. And then you're going to look at it and you're either going to add a line on the bottom and connect, like, I'll show you it right here. Actually, let me draw it on there. What you're doing is you're either going like this, and then like a piece like this, and kind of connecting them on the sides, and then you can kind of add a little lip like this, or you take the one you just made and go above it instead, and make a longer one. Depending on how much room you have, what you think. Okay, you can always switch and make one the top or the bottom. I'll go right under, and I'm just going to connect the corners, and I'm going to add a little bit in the middle. Okay, she just has kind of a smooth, flat smile. Okay. Then I'm going to put a just a little tiny bump real close to her mouth for her nose. And I'm going to use the same color. So here I'm going to go across. I'm going to put a little bit smaller one underneath. I'm going to connect. And as you get this, is she a swamp monster?
She's not going to have a mouth. She's just not going to have one if I can't freaking do it.
Shh.
I can't freaking do it.
All right. And, okay, so then the eyes, this is not going to look pretty. Okay? She still looks crazy. You don't want her to look crazy. So she has to have her eyeballs touching at least the top or the bottom of her eyes. Okay, not like that. If you do it in just the bottom, it's going to be like this, which is kind of scary looking. So usually we go to the top. Okay, so you want to go up like that. She's looking up a little bit, maybe. Okay, and there's not much white left. If you look at her eyes, not much white in there. And I'm going to leave just a smidge in the middle. I'm not going to give her a highlight or anything. It's too, like maybe I can down here, but I'm going to do the black. And again, I don't want a little tiny black spot because it'll look like she's crazy. And then she has just kind of a heavy amount of black on the outside of her eye, and it cuts right across the top a little like that. Okay? Just more like on the outside. You don't have to brim the whole thing. I guess across the top. Just on the top lid, not so much on the bottom, alright? She looks like she's looking up. Alright. This one will do it. She's looking a little to the side in this one, so what you do is you show a little more white on that side.
Oh yeah, she looks like an alien.
Well, it's partly because the nose and the mouth are tiny and they're huge eyes, which is what our alien's drawing looks like. So this eye was a little bit bigger, so I'm going to add the black on the inside a little, and this one is a little smaller, so I'm going to add it on the outside. That should even them up a little bit.
And her nose in the actual picture is almost touching her mouth.
I know. I know.
It looks cute in that, but in mine it looks like she has a beak.
Did you curve it up or down?
You're making it so pointy. That's why it looks like a beak.
And don't make it pointy. I did mine
more like a line.
Or just a little line or curve up, I think, is going better. If you make the pointy down, I'll tell you later what it looks like. Okay. She does also have eyebrows. Don't forget them. And they're up a little high. Okay? So there's quite a distance. So she's kind of, like this. Okay? I don't know. She doesn't really look surprised, but anyway, they're up there. Okay,
The magic of Disney.
but they're not. They're like that.
I hate it.
Okay.
That looks good. That's better.
And if I want her to have a little smirk, I just bring the corner up a little bit on one side. Because she does kind of go, doesn't she do this?
Yeah,
She's
the
a
cold
second
never
house.
bothered her. Anyway.
That's Alright. So what I'm going to do is to finish this up, I'm going to, on the main dress, I'm going to use the blue, and then I'm going to, on the sleeves and the cape, I'm going to use some white, and that's going to just kind of blend in with the blue and make it look a little bit different. So if you have something that you want to do, let me know. All I want to know is, you know, people are interested, and I'll keep going, help keep us busy, give us something to do. If not, I'll come up with something. And if you, there's all the other videos are all on YouTube. Free drawing classes with Valerie Wallace Fine Arts. This is like 45. The middle of March seems like a long time ago,
Oh my gosh.
doesn't it?
Yeah.
So that's a neat thing. Even if you just have crayons or colored pencils, there's something that will happen when you blend a little white on there. Okay, I'm gonna get this little pocket too. You can also watch them on Facebook if you go to Valerie Wallace Fine Arts. Don't just go to my personal page. I think that happens with some people. They're not really there, so you have to go to my business page, and then if you go to videos, they're all there. Or you can just go through my page. That's pretty much all that's there. And I'm getting it together to do maybe private, like Zoom parties with people. If you want to get a group together, it'll be reasonable for sure. And also private lessons. If you want to do a private lesson online with me, you could do that, or you know, semi-private, or just if you have a group, your own family, and you all want to do a sailboat together or something like that, just get in contact with me. Is there something else I need to say?
Donate.
Oh. If you'd like to make a donation, there's a link right on the video there to take you to my ticket page on my website, ValerieWallace5Arts.com. And it would be lovely if you can spare a little bit. If you can't, just share it to some friends, because really that's what I'm getting. You know, I just want to help out. I want to help people, keep people busy, let you learn something. If you've always meant to and you never had time, now's the time, right? And if you look at the playlist, you're bound to find some things that you're interested in. And you can stop and go and that kind of thing. Oh, I almost forgot. Okay. I almost forgot one thing. What am I doing on time? Am I ready?
1:30.
Okay, alright, hang on. On this one, if it's if you're doing it in pencil, you know, you want to do a few things to sort of accent thing, a little, you know. So maybe I want to color, you know, this part of her dress, you know, just so you can see it. And if I intensify these folds a little bit, I can hold my pencil right on the side like that, then I can cover a lot more ground. Or you could take this would be great, kind of sketch it out in pencil and then take your colored pencils. If you don't have an aqua, a little white and a little light green might help you to make it. It's tricky, but. Alright. What's it like outside, is it cold?
Windy.
Depends on whether or not the sun is shining.
I feel like it's like
It rained on
March
Saturday.
ought to be like, it's so windy.
Yeah, it's
This is gonna be one of the windiest springs we've ever had with those crazy storms and stuff, right?
one. Gotta be.
Got to be. One of the things you do too, if you really wanted her to look like she had light hair, if you're coloring with black and white, charcoal, pencil, whatever, is that you know, you can't really color her in, but what you do is you color. This goes for anything, you know. If you have a moon in the sky, the only way to make the moon look like it's bright is by coloring the things around it. But you don't want to do just this. You want to make that sort of randomly spread out into the sky, kind of like that. But do you see how that starts to actually make her have blonde hair? Okay, all right, so the last thing I wanted to do is to show you about how to make a snowflake. Maybe I'll just do it with this. So a snowflake has six pieces? What? 6 points.
It's like, I don't know.
All right, one, it's gonna be big. And then an X. Okay, now look at it, and if they don't look like they're even, you know, just add a little bit to, you know, one or the other to make it so that they look like they're about even. Okay, that'll make it come out better. Okay, and then there's all kinds of things you can do, but whatever you do to one of the posts, do it to all of them. So, say I make a little V on each post, like that. That's kind of snowflakey, and then I'll add another one. Okay, and you can, sometimes they have a little piece in between, but that will do it. Okay, and she has a pretty big snowflake, but so she has some that are different sizes, and then she also has little magic dust. Okay, so you can try that if you want to. And if you wanted her to have, feel like she's up on her cliff, you could put, I might even use a different shade of blue. If I put something like this, and then if I put, maybe some jaggedy mountains like this, with maybe the snow, and then, you know, more in the distance that are lighter, it'll look a little bit like she's up on the cliff. I don't know if that worked, but one of the things we're going to do pretty soon, I'm going to do a Mount Katahdin picture, because that's pretty popular with people from Maine, and it's actually a pretty easy mountain to do. Oops, I don't know about that. All right, and maybe she has some wind blowing. Let's see if I can do it. Right through her. Okay, sound good? All right, thank you very much. Tomorrow we are doing a puffin, a cute little puffin, and so you know what colors you need. And I will see you tomorrow at 1 o'clock. And if you can't watch at 1, it doesn't bother me. You watch it whenever you want to watch it. You can watch in the middle of the night. It's fine with me. Okay? I'd love to see your pictures. I haven't seen many lately. I'm gonna post a couple today, but I would love to see them. Thank you. I'll show you a close-up. There we are. Oh, Kara. Hi, Arlene. Hi, Lynn. Veronica's watching. Yes, I know. Her dog is here. Oh, is Nora watching? I hope Max was happy. Hey, Tracy. All right. Thank you. See you tomorrow. Somebody loves me. Who's that? Is that Ruby?
Well, I'm not watching it, so.